Ryan Poles always seems to take one undrafted rookie free agent each season to be on Chicago's 53-man roster. And this guy just has a natural gift at finding talent that goes unnoticed by everyone else. And he can also thank Ian Cunningham for being a great running mate in this duo for the Chicago Bears front office and building this team in a very special way that they'll be good for a long time. The Chicago Bears have a lot of undrafted rookie free agents on the roster right now, and they all seem to be making an impact in their own ways. We've had Jack Sanborn and Tyson Bagent over the last couple of years make the roster, and I think that there is going to be another one that makes the 53-man roster. This preseason has been a lot of fun watching these guys run around with the 2s and 3s, and there is a guy who, in my opinion, is going to make the roster, and it's going to cause some pretty shocking roster moves after in order to keep him. But it's all worth it, and I can't wait to continue to watch this team progress. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to this episode of Just Another Year Chicago Bears. My name is Nick Brody, and as always, thank you for tuning in. Today, I'm going to be breaking down undrafted rookie free agent Ian Wheeler, who is a running back, who is turning a lot of heads at camp in both the Chicago Bears fan nation in both preseason games and in camp so far. And before I begin today's show, I am giving away another custom Chicago Bears jersey to one lucky viewer. To enter, make sure to hit the like button on this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you for 17,000, by the way. We just hit it on Monday, so super excited about that. And comment where you're watching from. We got people from all over the world, and I love to see where Chicago Bears Nation stands. So let's go into Ian Wheeler and who he is. Well, he's an undrafted rookie free agent from Howard, a private university in Washington, D.C. The 5'11", 205-pound running back packs a punch when on the field and gives you everything you need in a complete back, whether it's blocking, receiving, rushing, and he is even a special teams guru. Wheeler is from Houston, Texas, where you live and breathe football in that state. So he loves the game, and it's his entire life. And you can see his passion in the way he plays and with everything he does when he throws on pads. He is not only a solid football player, but a solid guy off the field as well. He's very good in the classroom, finishing at Howard on the Dean's List with a 3.57 GPA and was named to the MEAC All-Academic Team 3 years in a row. He attended Howard in their medical program as well, so clearly one smart cookie for a rookie. And he is a leader amongst his teammates and is known for being a very humble leader as well that is approachable and helps bring teammates up, and why he is someone you want on the Chicago Bears team. The Bears are building a fantastic culture right now, honestly the healthiest I've seen it since the early 2010s, and he brings a lot to the table for sure on and off the field. But he helped lead Howard to winning back-to-back Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference championships, and this guy is one special person to have on your team, and his stats speak for it. So a lot of Bears coaches have come out this year saying you have to be versatile to make the 2024-2025 Bears Chicago Bears roster, and I have to agree because we are stacked from top to bottom, and Wheeler is one of those guys that is making a lot of guys little nervous when they're at practice because he's putting on a show every single time, and that all started back at Howard. During his time there, he had over 2,500 total yards from rushing, receiving, and special teams returns. Wheeler, his senior season this past year, returned 3 kickoff returns for touchdowns, which I could see why Ryan Poles brought him in, considering the fact that the new kickoff rule is very friendly to returners, and he obviously has a very good knack at returning the ball. In his total career at Howard, from a rushing perspective, he rushed 177 times for over 1,154 yards and 14 rushing touchdowns, mainly being a red zone running back for them. From a receiving perspective, he had 234 receiving yards, averaging over 7.5 yards per catch, and his kick return stats, very impressive. 1,322 kick return yards, along with 3 kick returns for touchdowns, all happening this year, and over 700 of his return yards coming his senior year as well. He was, again, the all-academic team 3 years running, and he was 3 times all-conference in the MEAC as well. Clearly, this guy was talented and recognized across the league from his peers and other coaches. And in his first NFL action, he did not slow down. 5 carries against the Buffalo Bills for 4.3 43 yards, not 4.3 yards, and averaged 8.6 yards per carry and 2 rushing touchdowns in back-to-back offensive possessions, which is very impressive overall, especially against a solid Buffalo Bills defense. He made it look at ease. He broke it to the outside. He broke tackles, and he showed his agility across the board. Now, before I get more into Wheeler, I would like to thank today's sponsor, Authentico Tequila, a Chicago-based startup that was created to make the newest organic tequila on the market. Is hot right now, and you guys have to go out and try some. Listen, I love this stuff. Keith Van Horn loves this stuff as well because there's no additives. It's organic, super smooth, and very light to no hangovers, depending on how much you have. But let's be honest, everyone gets a little hungover even if you have a couple drinks these days. Go to the link in the bottom, in the description below, and in the top comment to find Authentico near you, and I want to hear what you guys think of it. So I've gone through his stats, I've gone through his background, but why do I think he'll make the roster? Well, minus his ability as a leader, which he'll have to work hard for, but he's gaining the respect of. He's a very versatile player, kind of like what I was saying earlier. He can rush the ball well, using his big frame to run over defenders. He is also a bulldozer, breaks tackles with ease, never puts his head down, constantly looking to see if he can get more yards, and his strong footwork to juke out offenders and his overall strength helps him get extra yards even when he's getting wrapped up. Not only that, he can block, which and very well too, because right now Rashawn Johnson is the big blocking running back on our team, along with fullback Kareem Blasingame. But you could always use a running back that can do it too. And Wheeler is a close second with Rashawn Johnson. And like I said earlier, on this team, you have to be versatile. Wheeler can not only run and catch, but he can return it on kickoff returns and make tackles as well. His special teams ability is great, making him very special as a solid tackler and even better returner. You have to be able to do it all at the best level in order to use this roster, because roster spots are very limited at 53, and he exactly does that, bringing a lot to the table. The Bears also have a super interesting running back room situation right now. You obviously have DeAndre Swift, who you paid $8 million a year, so he's locked in, good to go. Then you have Rashawn Johnson, who's on a rookie contract for 3 more years. You have Velus Jones Jr. that's trying out the running back room and seeing pretty good success right there, even though he'll probably be in the wide receiver room most of the time. But then you have Khalil Herbert and Travis Homer, which Homer's a special teamer as well. But that's really what's holding him on this roster right now. And Khalil Herbert, who's in the last year of his rookie contract, making only a little over $1 million a year and being one of the league's better versatile running backs, his trade value is super high right now. And if you can trade him, get some draft picks, maybe even a defensive edge or a lineman, things could go in the right direction for Wheeler. And Wheeler can sneak his way onto this roster, especially since he can do it all. And there's other guys on this roster too that are going to be able to make it, and they are on the bubble right now, but they're doing fantastic. Starting off with our guy, Josh Blackwell's having a huge preseason so far, running with the 2s, 3s, and the 1s in certain situations. He's also a special teams guru, making a lot of plays there. I have a lot of confidence that he's going to make this roster, and I'm really excited for him as well. Then you have Reedy Stewart, another undrafted rookie free agent from Troy, has been playing very solid at both camp and in games. He's had 5 tackles against the Bills. He had 3 interceptions against Caleb Williams in practice, and he's been one of his biggest headaches too. And his pass deflections are through the roof. I think he's at like 14 right now in camp. So he's looking really good, and he's even run with the 1s as well. Final guy, Colin Johnson, the guy who had the monster Hall of Fame game with 2 receiving touchdowns. He was injured against the Bills, but if he makes good opportunity of his last 2 games against the Bengals and the Chiefs, I think Colin Johnson will sneak onto this roster, making another interesting situation with the wide receiver room, but that's something to go over in another day. Overall, I'm excited about this team. They have a lot of talent. They have a lot of versatility here, and I like what Ian Wheeler is bringing to the table. And I want to hear what you guys have to think about Ian Wheeler as well, because he is going to be a special player if he makes his team. But with that, thank you as always for tuning in this episode of Just Another Year Chicago Bears. My name is Nick Brody, and as always, bear down, baby.